Alright, class, I would like for you to raise your hand if you've heard of the story of how World War I started.
Well, that's Aldnoah. Yes. I swore I was watching this anime, and I was like, I swear I've seen this premise before. And I couldn't remember if it was anime or if it was some other type of, like, real life example. And it just popped in my head one day. It's like, wait a minute. Aldnoah.Zero is based off of World War I. If you don't believe me, World War I started off where the assassination of the Archduke of Ferdinand of Austria got killed, and as a result, there's all these hidden agendas and pretty much all of these hidden alliances that happened, and because of his death, it sparked off a huge war, and that's how World War I began. Look at that. Not only do you get to talk about anime here, but I give you guys some history on the side. So, Aldnoah.Zero. This anime has been recommended to me by almost everybody and their mother. Told me that this anime is underrated, that it deserves so much more, and that it's an amazing ass anime. I agree to a point. I don't believe that Aldnoah.Zero is underrated. I don't believe that it's overrated. I think it is exactly where it should be. I don't think that Aldnoah.Zero is probably one of the best anime I've ever seen. I would go on and explain about why I don't feel like Aldnoah.Zero is as good as everybody's making it out to be, but we would be here forever and arguing about personal preference instead of facts. But I will tell you some facts, is that this anime is inspirational anime, and what I mean by that is that this anime pretty much takes aspects and ideas from other bigger, more successful anime and throw them together. A big example of these would be Darker Than Black and Guilty Crown. Good examples, and I feel like Aldnoah.Zero is like that. Like, Aldnoah.Zero, in my opinion, can never be one of the top ones because it's already copied and done things that other animes have already done. It's gonna always be considered that second rate. There is a dedicated following that loves it and enjoys it, but overall, when it's compared to other bigger anime or pretty much older titles, it can't hold a candle to it. When I watched it, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of bored. My only big irk about this anime is that the mecha fighting scenes aren't really that amazing. I feel like they're really slowed down compared to the other mecha anime that I love and enjoy, like Code Geass and Neon Genesis, where it's always action, fast-paced, acrobatics. And in this anime, there's really none of that. It's really because the way that the whole premise is set up is that one side is completely overpowered and the other side isn't, and their technology doesn't allow them to keep up. So as a result of that, you literally have the humans running around with tin-foiled machines, and a lot of the scenes end up being one mech versus a bunch of the human mechs, and the more advanced mech whooping out a can of whoop-ass on the enemy mechs, just pretty much destroying mechs while they just stand there shooting off their guns. Another thing that kind of irked me was the main character, Inoho. He is emotionless. Demeanor is just very linear, and out of nowhere, he's like a tactical genius. Now, according to the story, which this could change after they reveal some certain things, but from what I've watched, he is literally a high school student. And this high school student is outmaneuvering and coming up with tactics, and he's pretty much outplaying all of these enemy generals, army, soldiers, and combatants, which doesn't logically make any sense, but this is anime, so I can just throw that out of the window. He could be a prodigy genius, or what I feel personally is that maybe he's in fact not Terran, and that he's actually part of the Vest Empire and he doesn't remember, it was a long time ago. I have a feeling there's some hidden backstory with him, since they haven't really explained a lot of his backstory that they're hiding for a certain reason, for a big plot twist. So we'll see what happens. I do like Slain. Out of everybody I've seen, Slain has been the real MVP. He's been taking ass whoopings. He's been tortured just to protect this girl, which I understand, man. I would say it's kind of like Code Geass when it comes to the political drama and the whole war type of scenario. It's very similar to Code Geass, where one side is completely powerful, like the Britannias, compared to the Japanese, where it's like a rebel army. So that scenario is still relevant in Aldnoah.Zero. So that's where I pull, like, it's kind of like Code Geass, and with the whole thing with the princess actually being on the other side of it, kind of being like the Zero in a way. But not a leader, but more of like the special C2 or the Geass power. You could see some comparisons, but I'm not saying it's exactly like Code Geass. It's just you could see that there's some dots that can be connected. And on the other side, I get a little of an Attack on Titan vibe. One side's completely overpowered, even to the point where this side, the Vest Empire, looks down on humanity and calls the Terrans pretty much insects for most of the show, and will insult them any way possible. It might seem that I'm being a little bit harsh on this anime, but I'm not saying it's a bad anime, and I'm not saying it's an amazing anime. I'm just saying it's a decent anime. And I also have to say, with the pickup of episode 7 and episode 8, which I just saw recently, I have to say that the anime is starting to grow on me. Originally, it wasn't growing on me, but slowly but surely, it is starting to grow on me, and I plan on continuing to watch this. So Aldnoah.Zero, not bad. It has potential, but I gotta truly see that potential before I start saying it's underrated or so forth. So right now, it's exactly where it should be, rating-wise, and how many people are watching it. I'd say give it about 3 episodes, and if you're not interested in seeing the plot move forward, just drop it and go to something else, because you're really not missing a lot.